Friends, I am overjoyed to not only bring you the return of another Empties video, an out of control Empties video, because you know how I roll, but also the return of fall. Yes! This definitely isn't the final fall backdrop, but I couldn't take it anymore. So I just threw a few fall things on the table behind me for this video, but next video, it's gonna be even better. All right, let's do this. Starting off with skincare, my first empty is Apostrophe, and this portion of the video is kindly in partnership with Apostrophe, so let me tell you all about it.
Apostrophe is an online platform that connects you to an expert dermatology team and provides access to oral and/or topical prescription medications. Now that I am officially a 30-year-old, I'm in my 30s, that's so crazy to say still, I am feeling so glad that I started using tretinoin in my 20s. When I look back at photos of what my skin looked like before starting tretinoin, which would have been when I was like 22 or 23, so still so young, I can tell such a difference in the quality of my skin from then to now. Like, just the difference in how smooth my skin looks is crazy to me. So I am just so grateful to the younger version of myself that decided to start this tretinoin journey, and even more grateful to Apostrophe for providing access to it. In addition to 0.1% tretinoin, my Apostrophe prescription also contains spironolactone and tranexamic acid, which means that this is not only helping me with things like skin smoothness and texture, but also fine lines, wrinkles, acne, and hyperpigmentation all at once. So if you would like to get started on your skincare journey, no matter what age you are, because it's never too late to start that, and if you would like to get access to a personalized treatment plan for your individual skin concerns, all you have to do is complete a virtual consultation through Apostrophe. And you can use the promo code that is listed here on the screen and in the description box below to get your initial consultation for $5 plus an additional $5 off your first order.
Moving on to cleansers that I fully used up, I have two of the Cetaphil Gentle Clear Clarifying Acne Cream Cleansers. This has been my go-to cleanser every morning for over a year at this point, and I'm obviously still loving it. I have fully used up two. I already have a new one in my shower. Last summer, I randomly started getting a lot of texture on my cheeks and on my forehead, so I started using this because it has 2% salicylic acid, and I have been using it ever since because I think it's been really helpful. I also love that it has a really soft, creamy conditioning texture, so it's not something that leaves my skin feeling tight or dry whatsoever. While we're talking about that, I might as well mention the serum that I also started using in combination with that cleanser to tackle texture, and that is the IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Breakout Salicylic Acid Acne Treatment. This also has 2% salicylic acid in addition to lactic acid and other ingredients that rebalance the skin and promote healing. So I also use this every single morning in my skincare routine and have already repurchased it. The other cleanser I fully used up is something that very quickly became my favorite cleanser of all time. It is Prequel's Cleanser. And yes, I said cleanser on purpose, not cleanser. The reason why it's called cleanser is because it has 50% glycerin. So it's insanely hydrating, but it also has the most insanely amazing texture. It's like this lightweight, super soft, jelly-like texture that I would say is kind of like aloe and snail mucin combined. I just cannot say enough good things about my experience with this. I, of course, already rebought this as well, so if you have not tried Prequel's Cleanser yet, let this be your sign. The other serum I use every single morning in addition to IT Cosmetics Bye Bye Breakouts is vitamin C. But I've told you guys that I'm kind of in an exploration phase with vitamin C where I want to test out different options and find the very best one, so the one I tested out most recently is from Paula's Choice. This is the 25% vitamin C plus glutathione clinical serum with ergothioneine and GAP technology. So the two main forms of vitamin C in this serum are known to be more stable forms of vitamin C, and they include THDC and ascorbyl glucoside. The three other ingredients that they highlight as being key ingredients include glutathione, apple fruit extract, and ergothioneine. Ergothioneine and glutathione are also antioxidants, and then the last thing that they called out, which is the GAP technology, actually stands for glutathione amino acid precursors, which are aimed to minimize irritation, amp up antioxidant protection, and ingredient stability. The texture of this is quite different from a lot of vitamin C serums that I've tried because it's not liquidy or watery in feel. It's kind of more like a lotiony serum, but it still was lightweight enough for me to layer into my routine without any heavy residue, and it also was really hydrating as well. I think this would be worth looking into if you are somebody that has skin that is easily irritated by vitamin C, because the way this was formulated really seems to be focused on minimizing irritation, and in comparison to other vitamin C serums I've tried, this does not give me that stingy feeling whatsoever. So it's definitely a good one, but I still do want to keep testing out other vitamin C serums. I don't feel like my exploration is anywhere near complete, so let me know in the comments if there are any vitamin C's in particular that you want me to try next. Another day, another dermatology needleless serum. Yes, I am still using this every single night, and yes, you can still get 20% off of Dermatology's entire site with the discount link in my description box below. The other dermatology product that I used up is the Age Reversal Neck Cream. The ingredients highlighted in this neck cream are ceramides, peptides, a bunch of different peptides actually, vitamin E, shea butter, apple fruit extract, wheat germ oil, sweet almond oil, and some plant extracts as well. I absolutely love applying this. It feels so nice. It's perfectly creamy and moisturizing without being too heavy or greasy. I also love the idea of treating my neck separately from my face because obviously the skin on our neck is very different from the skin on our face. And I already have a problem neck. Oh my God, I'm like the lines that I'm already dealing with. Also, while we're talking about my necks, I know I'm gonna get comments. My thyroid is fine. My neck has literally always looked like this for my entire life. Anyway, so because my neck is just like so long and so like bony, I just feel like everything is visible. And if I'm bending down, I feel like I get lines really easily. So my neck already has a life of its own and I only just turned 30. So I'm like, oh my God, I can only imagine the road that will go down in the future. So I'm gonna try to start doing some things to help with that now. I emptied a couple different cleansing balms. The first is the Hero Dissolve Away Daily Cleansing Balm. I don't plan to repurchase this, but not because I had a bad experience. I think it works well, it gets the job done. I don't have any major complaints. I just wasn't obsessed with it. Okay, the e.l.f. Skin Holy Hydration Makeup Melting Cleansing Balm is a cleansing balm that I have recommended for at least a couple of years now. I personally think it's the best performing cleansing balm at the drugstore. I love the way that it feels. All around, it's great, but I have one big issue and it's the smell. I just talked about this in my latest New at the Drugstore video, but if you didn't see that, I was just saying how my dislike for the smell has been growing on me. It was something that didn't really bother me much at first, but I'm to the point now where I'm like, I hate the way this smells. It smells like lemon cleaning products to me. Like, ugh, I don't want to rub it on my face. I don't like it. So I think I might have one more that I'm like halfway through in my bathroom. And then after that, we're done. I'm not going to rebuy this until they come out with a fragrance-free version because I am officially grossed out. A moisturizer that I used up is the Bioma Barrier Repair Treatment, which is really focused on repairing and rebuilding the protective skin barrier. It contains barrier lipids, avocado oil, ectoin, and squalane. Trying to see if there's anything else worth mentioning. Shea butter, olive M1000, sphingolipids, glucose, ceramide NP, allantoin, hyaluronic acid, licorice root. And at first I really enjoyed this moisturizer, but as time went on, I found myself getting excited to just like use it up and be done with it because I feel like there's just something about this that doesn't hit in the way that my favorite moisturizers do. And I can't quite put my finger on what that is. I think the biggest thing was that I was just waking up with skin that didn't feel quite as moisturized as it does with my favorite moisturizers. I feel like it was almost one of those moisturizers that felt like it kind of sat on the surface a bit more and didn't have that like sink in conditioning quality that I love in a really nice moisturizing cream. So definitely not a bad product, just not one that after fully using up, I feel the need to repurchase. Speaking of barrier repair, if that is a product that you're interested in and you want one that is super effective, I highly recommend this one that I used up. It is the La Roche-Posay Cicaplast Balm Skin Protectant, and I have been alternating between this and Prequel Skin Protectant basically every single night. So after cleansing, I will apply my serums, my tretinoin, my moisturizer, and then I love finishing up with a final layer of either this or Prequel's ointment, kind of just like a layer of extra moisture and protection. This one definitely does have a bit of a shinier finish than Prequel though, so if that is something that you're not into, then I would recommend Prequel instead of this. Cleansing oils, I have used up yet another Neutrogena. What is this called? I just blacked out because the label does not stay on. That drives me nuts. It is the Neutrogena body oil, specifically the fragrance-free version. I love using this for makeup removal purposes because it's super affordable and it works great. So you will continue seeing this in my empties video, but oh, Excuse me. Another that I used up and really love is from Haru Haru Wonder. This is their Black Rice Moisture Deep Cleansing Oil. I think out of every cleansing oil I've ever tried, this is my current favorite in terms of feel. It's not greasy, it's not too thin and oily, you know, or you're like, oh my God, this is just like straight up cooking oil on my face. It has a little bit of an elevated texture and it's one that I really enjoy, plus it works great as well. So if the Neutrogena body oil just doesn't sound like something you can get behind, this is another that I think works really well and does just have a little bit of that nicer touch. And last for skincare are some sunscreens that I have officially decided to retire. I talked about why I decided to do that in my latest tinted sunscreen showdown, where I tested and applied 36 of the highest rated high-end tinted sunscreens for you guys. If you haven't seen that yet, check it out. I will list it in my description box below, along with a drugstore tinted sunscreen showdown that I did last year because I got a lot of requests for drugstore options too. I already did that. Don't worry, I got you guys. So if you watch that video, this will not be a surprise. These are both from Color Science. The first is the Color Science Sunforgettable Total Protection Face Shield Flex. The reason why I have 3 of these is because they're different shades. I still think that the final look that you get with Color Science Flex is beautiful if you are looking for a tinted sunscreen that gives fuller coverage. However, the texture is what is not quite as beautiful. It's definitely something that I would consider to be a bit thicker and almost on the pasty side, especially when I compare it to other tinted sunscreens that have launched over the past few years since I first discovered this. So if this is something that you still want to keep in your collection, I totally understand why, because again, the final result is so pretty. It's just that I have other tinted sunscreens that I prefer in terms of feel now, so I'm gonna reach for those and not repurchase this. And the same exact thing goes for another Color Science sunscreen that I used to be obsessed with, which is the Color Science Sunforgettable Matte Sunscreen. This one has significantly less coverage than Color Science Flex, so if you were curious to see the difference between the two and how they look once they're fully applied, I did do that in my tinted sunscreen showdown, so again, that is available for you below, but it is officially time to say my adieu. Is that how you say that? Adieu? What? Why did I even say that? It is time to say my goodbye, my official farewell to Color Science Matte. For now. Maybe one day I'll be like, I miss it. You never know with me. All right, let's move on to body care. I am going to zip through this category pretty quickly because these are all products that I have talked about so many times, but I figured I may as well just show you the empties so you can see what I've used up, and then I can finally get rid of these empty containers. Self-tan season has officially ended for me. I could not be more excited. I am so sick and tired of the self-tan routine. But that means that I have gone through a disturbing amount of Cetaphil moisturizing creams because this is my absolute favorite body moisturizer while I am self-tanning. I will often mix this, not often, I pretty much always mix this with a scented body lotion because it has 0 fragrance, but it is just the best at locking in that self-tan for as long as possible, which obviously I want if I'm gonna go to the hassle and grossness of applying self-tanner and sitting and soaking in it while it smells. God, I hate it. I finished up 2 of the Hemp's, what are you? Celebration Buttercream Vanilla Cake Body Moisturizers. Hemp's is definitely my all-time favorite lighter weight body moisturizer, so if you are interested in a body cream that isn't super thick and heavy, is a bit more breathable, then I would definitely check out Hemp's. This is a fragrance that I do really enjoy. I will say that there are other kind of cakey, vanilla-y fragrances that I prefer to this now that I've gone through so many bottles. Like this, which, I mean, I guess actually is not cakey or really vanilla-y. It is the Hemp's Koa and Sweet Almond Moisturizer. Well, I don't know. I think I would still say that this has like vanilla in it, but that sweet almond is what really pulls through, and I absolutely love it. It smells so good, so cozy. It's the perfect amount of sweetness without it being too like sickly, sugary sweet. It is just delicious. So this is definitely my favorite over birthday cake, which is why I just repurchased this, and I'm already gonna need to repurchase again because I go through body cream fast. The 54 Thrones Cloud Rapid Hydration and Barrier Repair Cream is something that I was actually using as a hand cream, and I am obsessed with it for that purpose. I just feel like it has the perfect thickness for a nighttime hand cream specifically. It's a little bit too thick for daytime for me. I mean, maybe not. I guess I could do that, like especially in the depths of Minnesota winter. But I was loving using this at night because of how thick and creamy and buttery it is. It really is just the perfect texture for something like that. So incredibly nourishing and moisturizing, but it wasn't something that ever felt too greasy or slippery on my hands. That is definitely a deal breaker for me in a hand cream because I like to read if I'm flipping the pages. I don't want it to be like slimy and I can't flip. You know what I mean? That's like the grossest feeling ever. greasy hands on a paper page. And this has, where is it? Ugandan vanilla and Ethiopian honey. So you get that really yummy honey vanilla scent. I will definitely be rebuying this. Sorry, I don't mean to flash you my disgusting empty. The Princess of Genovia. Oh, he's so sweet. I love you so much. I'm sorry it's taken mommy so long to film. The guilt that I have when I have to sit down and film eats me alive. Because I wish I could play with you all day. I'm sorry. Last for body care is a self tanner from Molly May. This is the filter tanning mousse, and this is something that I think is really good. It's just not a top favorite for me. My number one favorite tanning mousse is from a brand called Peta Jane, which is something I randomly found just from Googling, and I was like, oh, that looks cute, and that's a cute name. But I just think that the way that that one applies is elite. It's like next level. It is so soft and smooth. So that is what I would recommend over this. But if you were interested in this and wanted to support Molly May, it still is a great self tan. A self tanner that I rediscovered this summer is the Tanologist Face and Body Drops. I have used Tanologist for years. I've made several videos on them. I've included them in several self tan videos, but I just kind of forgot about how nice it is to use clear self tanning drops. Like, not having to sit in something with a color guide for hours every single week really does make a difference. But self tan drops are definitely trickier to use. I wouldn't say that they're beginner friendly, and they definitely take some playing around with to kind of like get the best result. I actually had to go back and watch an old video of mine. I think I posted it like 3 years ago. I shared my top tips for self-tan drop application, and that helped me a lot. I was like, thanks, old me. I forgot about a lot of this. So I will list that video below if you are newer to self-tan drops or you're struggling to get a really nice even result, because this can go streaky fast if you are not careful with what you're doing. But if you are, man, it's nice to not have a color guide sometimes. Love you. We have made it to the last category for this video, which is hair care. I still use the Apres Bond Repair treatment every single wash day, clearly. If you would like to see exactly how I use this and integrate it into my routine, I'm going to list a bond repair routine video in the description box below. I not only talk through Apres in detail, but I also talk through every other bond repair treatment that I regularly use. Speaking of other bond repair treatments I regularly use, I have gone through another bottle of the K18 Leave-In Molecular Repair Hair Mask and the Living Proof Triple Bond Complex Hair Strengthener. They're staying in the routine too. Another bottle of the OGX Coconut Miracle Oil, which is my personal favorite pre-shampoo oil treatment. But if this is something that's too thick and heavy for you, there are a couple lighter weight options from OGX that I will also list in my description box below. The Head & Shoulders Classic Clean Daily Shampoo has been life-changing for me. I mentioned this in my last favorites video, and I have used this every single wash day since. Like, even when I travel, I now have to bring this with me in a little travel bottle because it has been absolutely amazing at helping to relieve the itch that I get with seborrheic dermatitis. So I just use this where I get flare-ups of seborrheic dermatitis, which is just in this spot on the back of my scalp. If I do not cleanse that properly, where did Prenz even come from? I will get so insanely itchy. I have actually taken a Triscope, which is like a microscope for your scalp, and put it on that area when I feel like I'm really itchy and irritated, and oh my God, Disturbia. Let's just say that. But ever since I started using this, the improvements have been massive. So if you are somebody that struggles with an itchy scalp, if you have seborrheic dermatitis, dandruff, psoriasis, this is definitely something I would look into. Pantene Volume and Body has kind of ruined my life because this has completely changed the way that I think about shampoo and like, not think about shampoo. That's not what I'm trying. Well, this has changed the types of shampoos that I tolerate in my life. Let's say that. Because I have never in my life, at any price point, gotten as good of a cleanse as I get with Pantene Volume and Body. This is a dream for oily scalps, heavy buildup, thin/fine hair types that are easily weighed down. It's just changed everything for me. I can no longer tolerate shampoos that don't give me an amazing cleanse because of this one right here. Moving on to conditioning products, I have 2 Strength Cure conditioners from Pureology. This, I think, is officially like the longest surviving conditioner on my channel, which is kind of crazy to think about because not much has survived since I first started posting videos about hair care. Like my routines have been overhauled, my favorite products have been overhauled, but there are a few special products that stand the test of time, and my ever-changing knowledge on hair care and Pureology Strength Care is definitely one of those. If you are interested in affordable options for conditioning, you're in luck because the rest of them are. First is the Pantene Miracle Rescue Deep Repair Conditioner, which is such a nice drugstore option for bond repair. It's soft and creamy without being heavy, and it does in fact have bond repair ingredients. I talked about that in my drugstore bond repair showdown, so I will list that below as well if you would like to know details. And the same thing goes for these two products, which are both from the Dove Bond Strength range. This is the conditioner, and this is the serum mask. These are my all-time favorite conditioning products from the drugstore. Hands down, no question. And honestly, discovering these has made it difficult for me to want to reach for anything else at any price point because of how insanely soft and silky these make my hair feel. And I've seen some comments from you guys saying similar things where you're like, well, now I don't want to use anything else because what the heck? The Eliza Vecca CER-100 Collagen Ceramide Coating Protein Treatment is still something that I think is incredible. It still is something that I recommend. This is super lightweight and something that you could either use as a conditioner or a hair mask, depending on your hair type. I've used this completely by itself on wash day, like in the shower for a conditioning product. This has been the only thing I've used, and it's all I've needed because it does such an incredible job at conditioning. All right, I think it's time to wrap up this video here. I always have more empties to share, but we have already gone through 32 products, so I think that's enough for this video. We'll save the rest for next time. If anything I talked about sounds intriguing to you, everything is going to be listed and linked in order of mention in my description box below, as always. Let me know in the comments what you're going to try out, or if there are any other beauty products that you've been using recently and really loving that you think I need to try. If you enjoyed this and would like to see more videos like this from me, please don't forget to give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, click on that notification bell, and send my channel to a friend. Thank you so much for your support in doing those things. It really does help to support my channel, so I appreciate you so much for doing that. Thank you for watching my videos. I love the freaking heck out of you guys. Make sure to stay tuned for my next one because that will be up in a few days, but until then, I hope you have a great few days.